If you guys want a little streaming tip, make sure you're talking. But talking is scary. I know it is. I know it is. You know what? What I do when talking gets a little too scary is I just start narrating whatever I'm doing in the environment. I just like start panic word vomit. I'm pissing, you know, that kind of thing. When I first started streaming, I just started commenting on my gameplays since I often had empty streams. It's exactly what I had to do. I would also bring up conversation starters on a tab on one of my screens. Or on my phone. Well, this is before I was VTubing, so I wasn't using my phone to VTube, but I would just like bring up conversation starters and I would say them out loud and I would answer them and go into depth about them. And that's like a really cool tip that I try and give people because it's such an easy way to just like talk to yourself, is just by answering conversation starters and leaving them open for people who are like lurking in your chat to kind of like join in if they enjoy the question. That's what I used to do when I streamed to like 1 to 2 people. But now I have you guys to talk to. All my days of conversation starters paid off, I guess. Also, another tip I could give you is there's a book online, Upright Citizens Brigade Comedy Improvisation Manual. Jesus, that was a freaking mouthful. So now I'm not too good at it, but I am working on it. I am trying. So the one thing that YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and stuff like that did when they became like famous YouTubers is they started taking improv classes. I can't afford that shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy a book. And so I bought this book. And what this book teaches you is how to turn your situations into a story. So you can try and do it through your gameplay. That's basically like you do it through your gameplay, or if you're doing like just chatting, or if you're building Legos, you know, whatever it is, you just like improv all kinds of different situations. And that's a really good way to build your skill as being like a content creator. I'm not very good at it, but it is a skill. It is a skill that you do need to build on. So like when you start streaming or you're new to streaming, it's never going to be one of those things where you're just going to jump into it and you're going to be excellent at it. Like not everybody is queso, unfortunately. It's just like a skill that you build on. And as you strengthen your communication skills and how you interact with people, as long as you're looking to actually improve yourself and not stagnate and like not say anything, or you're silent in your streams and things like that, you're going to improve and people will be attracted to that. It's all about just improving your communication and studying how to be more entertaining. So watch people that you like to watch and the type of content creator that you want to be, and really watch. Don't just watch to be entertained. Watch to learn. You know what I mean? That'd be a really, really good way to develop yourself as a content creator. You know, a lot of people, I think, jump into streaming and they think, oh, I'm just going to like start streaming. But a lot of people aren't naturally entertaining. And it's not because it's any fault of their own, or it's not like a personality fault or anything like that. It's just that you have to really use your personality and you have to wield it kind of like a sword. You have to wield your personality like a sword and learn how to use it to your advantage and be entertaining and stuff like I hope I'm making sense. I'm kind of talking out of my ass, but also like this is kind of what I've been doing and how I've been learning. It's still a process, but it's how I've gotten to where I am right now, and I'm still itty bitty. I'm still a tiny little streamer, but every day, every stream, it's a skill that I'm building. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, let me catch up a chat. Oh my god. Add a cheese slap emote. I would if people would join. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing, is just add things to your channel. You don't have to have people to add things. So like if you have a model or if you have like a PNG tuber, just add things that you would want to see in someone's stream. That like my stream, if you like the cheese slap, add the cheese slap to your stream. Even if nobody's watching, at least it's there, because you never know what lurkers you have. You might have lurkers that are just gathering points. And then when people do the redeems, respond to the redeems, like actually like react to the redeems as if it's happening to you in real life. And that's when it becomes really fun. Help, I've already done with my meeting new people quota for today. That's the thing about streaming though. We'll meet a lot of new people. It's different though. It's different than meeting people in real life. Meeting a bunch of people in real life is so exhausting, but doing it on stream is fun. I enjoy meeting all of you. Mom always told me I was good at improv. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. I'm so bad at improv. Dude, I was too until I started practicing it. And it's still hard. It's still hard. It's still a work in progress. I catch myself when I watch over my VODs. I always like am super critical on myself. That's another thing, is watch your VODs. Watch your VODs and be very critical of yourself, because that's another way to learn pretty quickly, is when you watch yourself and you're you're like, damn, I could have done this better and I could have done that better. And you take notes, you take mental notes about the things that you think you could have done better. I do that all the time in my VODs, dude. All the freaking time. I'm like, damn, I could have made something really funny out of that situation, but I didn't. And I gotta do that next time. What if I don't know how to use a sword? Then you learn. You go to learn. That's one thing. It's like building the skill. You gotta learn if you want to learn. I mean, if you don't want to learn, then don't learn. But there's a pattern to improv. You have to find connecting threads. Yeah, that's the hardest part of improv, is building on those threads and like finding the threads that begin the like start the improv, and then you just kind of go from there. Sometimes it branches out, sometimes it doesn't, but it takes a lot of creativity for sure. And sometimes you have to just make up the thread. Sometimes you just have to pull the thread out of your ass. And that's the hardest part for me, is finding the thread and building on it. I'm not good at it. I'm working on it, because sometimes I just like hit a wall with something that I'm improving on stream and I just don't play on it like I should, and it's hard. Every time you do it, you're building on that skill. So trying my best to meet new people recently. Only thing with improv is that I can't really do it if I don't know my audience. Basically, in that situation where you're streaming, you pretend like you are improving to a audience that you prefer to have. Does that make sense? So like the audience that you want to build, or your community that you want to build in the very early stages, just do it like you are performing to a community already. That's another thing, is just like when you're really, really small streamer, you kind of have to play pretend. You have to pretend like people are watching you. And I think that was the hardest part when first starting out, when you're streaming to nobody. It's like pretending people are there watching you. It's so awkward. But if you think too much about it, it makes it worse. But eventually you just forget about it and just pretend like you're having a good time, you know? I kind of don't watch my VODs because I hate how my voice sounds. You have to watch your VODs. You gotta watch your VODs. I would almost go off on a limb and say that watching your VODs is so necessary. Not only so that you can scrub for clips, which you should be posting outside of Twitch, unfortunately. It's the one way to bring in a lot of new eyes. I get a lot of new eyes on here from TikTok, and it's just like a wonderful way to get new eyes on your stream, because there's just Twitch's whole like discovery. There's no discovery on Twitch. You just get lucky. Sometimes like someone will find you in a category that they're looking through, but there's just no discoverability on this platform. So TikTok or YouTube Shorts is the best way to do it. And in order to do that, you gotta scrub through your VODs. That's the hardest part, but it also is a good way to criticize yourself and help yourself improve. I don't listening to my voice is super cringe too, but you know, I do it every single VOD. I turned on Anime Chess event into an improv skit. Both the staff and con requested me to show up again. I attended the event just to play. See, there you go. You'd be a great streamer. What are you talking about? If you could do something like that, you'd be a great streamer. I guess the good thing about being a pilot is that you need to have fast reaction and be really attentive, which tracks for needing improv. Yes. I don't have like that snappy brain that some people do. Like I want to say Markiplier. Like Markiplier can take a second to improv something. Like something happens, he immediately is on it and improving it. I like dream to be that good one day. But me, it's just like I take a few minutes to think about it. And that's also attributed to me being a very big overthinker. I overthink everything. And then of course there's the shyness aspect. I'm a little bit shy. So sometimes I don't really like let loose my full potential out of fear that people are going to be like, what the hell, dude? Who the hell is this chick? Freaking weirdo. If you're trying to be funny, you have to do a lot of jokes. Don't linger and keep going. Lots of smaller jokes and feel out what works best. That exactly, as well as being able to, I guess, make fun of yourself. So like when you make a mistake or somebody makes a joke about you, it's important not to take things super personal. It's hard sometimes because I think sometimes people can get really mean, but it's really important not to take things so seriously. And I think that's what makes streaming so enjoyable, is when you can just like let go of taking things super, super personally and just like turning everything into a joke or a fun time. So when you do get that Taco Bell sponsorship and blow up, you can make a best-selling self-help streamer book. Here's how to improv as a streamer and have conversation starters. And yeah, right. That kind of reaction time sort of just happens. Maybe it's just something that sort of happens in the background, but also I overthink a lot too. I think it has there's layers to it, right? There's like, it has to do with personality as well as I think intelligence and situational situations. A lot of different factors go into it. You have to react on impulse and train that reflective response. Exactly. I think that's what people don't get about that sort of thing is that you can't just jump into content creation, being a YouTuber, being a TikToker, being a streamer, expecting, and I mean, unless you come out of that sort of environment, like if you're in drama class or you take acting classes, things like that, you can't just like jump into streaming or content creation thinking you were just gonna be a Markiplier or an XQC, or I mean, XQC is just like, I don't even know if he improvs. I think he's just like crazy. I always think Markiplier just because like I watched a lot of his advice videos on becoming a content creator and like how he's so entertaining and things like that. And a lot of the things that he said are what I'm saying now, is it's just like, it's a skill that he built up. It's not something that he went into just naturally being funny. It's actually something he took classes for. Like once he got to a certain point with his YouTube creation, he actually went to improv classes and started taking improv classes and improved himself through like external means. It didn't all just come naturally. It was something that he built up on. And so that's what I keep, that's what I tell myself. That's what I tell myself, is just like, you know, it's a start, and every day's a learning process. Every stream, I should say. If I was streaming every day, I'd be learning even more, but here we are, me streaming once a week right now. Also, another way to be successful, just be crazy. True. Just be crazy or start a lot of drama so you get a lot of hate watchers. That's how some people get their success. I would rather be neither. Well, maybe a little bit of crazy. Maybe a little bit of my crazy will come out eventually. My only fear about streaming is losing the motivation to keep doing it. I don't want to start and burn out. I tend to push until I have nothing left to give. So what has helped me with that? Because when I was a cam streamer, I did exactly that. Where I pushed so hard. There was one point I streamed every day for a month straight. Every day, if you can believe it. Dark's gonna be like, what? Pikachu fish? What? I can't believe it. But yes. Yes, there was one point when I was streaming as a cam streamer that I streamed every day for a month straight. I burnt out so bad because at that point streaming was becoming a chore, and not because I didn't like hanging out with people, but because it was all I was thinking about. I was just like thinking about, what am I going to do on stream today? What am I going to do for content? What am I going to do for this? And it was consuming my life, and it became just not fun. And so I actually took a year off. I took a year off of streaming, came back as a VTuber after like, during that break, I just like got super into VTubers, came back as a VTuber, and I started looking at streaming as gaming. So when you sit down after a long day at work and you just like jump into a game, I wanted to make streaming that for me. So streaming with you guys has mentally become like a gaming session. Like hanging out with you guys is enjoyable for me. It's how I wind down. It's how I have fun. And that has been an amazing mindset change for me. And it's something you can definitely train your brain to do. It takes a lot of work, but you could do it. You just got to shift your mindset to look at streaming as something that's fun. The only thing I don't like about streaming and content creation, and something that's actually been burning me out like behind the scenes, is the VOD scrubbing and the video editing. It's not my cup of tea, but I can't afford a video editor, so I have to just like suck it up and do it anyways. I hate it so much, but I do it anyways because I know that that's the way you have to grow and get eyes on your stream. But the streaming part is fun. It's what comes after. Like pushing out clips and video editing and trying to network, I guess. I don't do a whole lot of networking because I'm not on Twitter a lot, because Twitter is a freaking cesspit of angry mob people. But one of my friends got a job as a video editor for a couple million plus subscriber YouTube channel. Said it was his dream job. He quit after 3 months. It's a lot. People don't realize it. They think that it's an easy job. It's not. It's so monotonous. I swear to God, I'm going to go insane and be admitted into a freaking asylum during the cutting process. And by cutting, I mean that's when you go through the video and you cut out all the non-voice parts. So like the parts of the stream that are silent, or the parts of the stream that are not entertaining. It is mind-numbingly insane. I hate it so much. Once you get everything clipped out, it's easy from there because the edits are fun. Doing like the zooms and adding like the clip art in to make things funny and stuff, that's fun to me. But it's the monotonous part of going through 4 to 6 hours of content to clip everything out that's not entertaining, that you don't want in the video. And it's just like, the only way to fix that is to be super entertaining enough where you don't need to do so much clipping. And I'm not there yet. So it's total ass. Poor girly pop needs an editor. I do. I do. One day. Today's not that day. So for now, I suffer. I'll suffer for the entertainment of the YouTubes. I used to do a fair bit of editing on my own for short films and whatever. It was fun. I just don't like the clipping part. Like the editing, like I love doing clips. Like doing clips for YouTube and TikTok is actually pretty fun. But it's the VOD scrubbing and the YouTube videos that get me. Alrighty. All right, guys. I think we should go ahead and wrap up. I think I've yapped your ears off enough. Good lordy.